Hey, I'm Luna. Welcome to English Station, where we make learning English simple, natural, and fun. I'm super glad you decided to join me today because I've got something really valuable for you. If you've ever felt stuck speaking English, like you know the grammar and vocabulary, but your conversations don't sound quite right, or you feel like you're missing those little natural touches that make you sound like a native speaker, then this episode is for you. I'm going to share with you more than 50 useful English phrases that native speakers use all the time in their daily lives. These phrases will help you sound more natural, more confident, and make your conversations flow like a breeze. Whether you're ordering coffee, chatting with a friend, or just making small talk, these phrases will help you sound more confident and fluent. And don't worry, I'm not just going to list the phrases. I'll explain when and how to use them, give you example conversations, and even help you practice so you can say them easily and naturally. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on our English learning lessons. Now, grab a notebook or just relax and listen, and let's get into it. All right. Let's get started with greetings, because every conversation starts with a greeting. You probably know the basics like hi, hello, or good morning. But in real life, people use a lot more interesting and casual ways to say hello. Instead of just saying hi, try saying hey, how's it going? Or what's up? These are casual, friendly greetings that invite a response and make the conversation feel warm and genuine. Imagine you meet a friend at the store. Instead of just saying, hi, you say, hey, how's it going? Your friend replies, not bad, just picking up some stuff. How about you? See? That sounds much more natural than a plain, hello. Or maybe you run into someone you haven't seen in a while. That's the perfect moment to say, long time no see. It's a fun and casual way to reconnect. You could say, hey, long time no see? How have you been? And your friend might answer, yeah, it's been ages. I've been busy with work. Try to imagine this situation. You bump into an old classmate after years. You say, hey, long time no see. And they reply, I know. It's been too long. How's everything with you? Doesn't that sound warm and friendly? Much better than a simple hello. Next up are ways to ask how someone is doing. Everyone knows the question, how are you? But honestly, it sounds a bit formal or even robotic sometimes, especially among friends. So what else can you say? Try these instead. How are things? How's everything? Or what have you been up to? These phrases sound more casual and invite the other person to share more about their life. For example, if a friend just started a new job, you might ask, how's everything going with your new job? Your friend could answer, it's going great. I really like it so far. Or if someone has been traveling, ask, what have you been up to lately? And they might say, I just got back from Spain. It was amazing. Using these more natural questions helps your English sound friendly and conversational. It also encourages the other person to talk, making the conversation more interesting. Now, let's say you want to agree with someone. Instead of just saying yes or I agree, which can be a little plain, try these phrases. Totally, exactly. That's so true. Or I know, right? They're more expressive and show you're really listening. Here's an example. Someone says, it's been so hot lately. You can reply, totally. I've been sweating just walking outside. Or your friend might say, online meetings are exhausting. You say, that's so true. I feel more tired after Zoom than in-person meetings. These small phrases make your English sound natural and help you connect better with others. Sometimes you need to say, I don't know, but there are many ways to say it that sound more casual or interesting. Try, I'm not sure, beats me, no idea, or I haven't got a clue. For example, if a friend asks, do you know where Sarah is? You can say, beats me, haven't seen her today. Or if someone asks, who ate the last cookie? You say, no idea, not me. Using these alternatives makes your speech sound more natural and relaxed. Now, let's talk about small talk. Small talk is the little conversation you have with people when you want to be friendly but don't have a big topic to discuss. It's super important for making connections and sounding natural. Here are some great small talk phrases. Nice weather today, isn't it? Busy day? Did you catch the game last night? For example, you meet a coworker in the elevator and say, busy day? They might answer, yeah, meetings all afternoon. It's simple, but it keeps the conversation going and makes you sound friendly. Knowing how to end a conversation politely is just as important as starting one. Try phrases like, anyway, I should get going. I'll let you go now. Or catch you later. For instance, you can say to a friend, anyway, I should get going. It was great catching up. And they'll reply, yeah, talk soon. Using these keeps things smooth and friendly. When you need help, don't just say, help me. Be polite and natural with phrases like, can you give me a hand? Would you mind helping me out? Or, could you do me a favor? For example, would you mind helping me move this table? And someone says, sure, no problem. That sounds so much better, right? Saying thank you is easy, but sometimes you want to sound more sincere or casual. Instead of just, thanks, say, thanks a bunch. I really appreciate it. Or, much appreciated. For example, thanks a bunch for helping me today. And someone might reply, anytime. When someone thanks you, respond naturally with, no problem, don't mention it, or anytime. For example, if someone says, thanks for the ride, you say, no problem, happy to help. If you want to share your opinion instead of, in my opinion, try, I think, if you ask me, or to be honest. For example, to be honest, I didn't really like the movie. And your friend might say, yeah, me neither. It was kind of boring. Talking about difficulty? Instead of it's difficult, say, it's a bit tricky, or it's not that simple. For something easy, say, it's a piece of cake, or no sweat. For example, if someone asks, can you fix this? You reply, yeah, it's a piece of cake. Express surprise or excitement with, no way, you're kidding, or that's awesome. For example, if someone says, I got the job, you say, no way, that's awesome, congrats. Talking about plans? Instead of I will do, say I'm planning to, I'm thinking of, or I might. For example, I'm thinking of taking a short trip this weekend. Someone replies, nice. Anywhere special? If you want to say goodbye, try take care, see you around, catch you later, or talk to you soon. For example, all right, see you around. And your friend says, yeah, take care. All right, now that we've warmed up with greetings, small talk, agreeing, and some useful responses, let's dive deeper into everyday phrases that will make your English sound smooth and natural. Imagine you're at a coffee shop and you want to order something. Instead of the basic, I want a coffee, try saying, could I get a coffee, please? Or, I'll have a cappuccino, thanks. These phrases are polite and common in everyday English. Adding please and thanks makes you sound courteous and friendly. If the barista asks, would you like anything else? You can respond with, no, that's all, thanks. Or, yes, could I also get a blueberry muffin? See how natural this sounds? Practicing these simple but polite phrases will boost your confidence next time you're ordering food or drinks. Now, what if you're running late? Instead of just saying, I'm late, try, sorry, I'm running a bit behind, or I'm stuck in traffic. For example, you call your friend and say, hey, sorry, I'm running a bit behind. I'll be there in 10 minutes. This sounds more natural and gives a reason, which people appreciate. When you want to invite someone to do something instead of the plain, do you want to come? Try, would you like to join me for a movie? Or, how about grabbing dinner tonight? These invitations sound warm and thoughtful. For example, you can say, hey, would you like to join me for a movie this weekend? And your friend replies, sounds great. What time? If someone invites you but you can't go, it's polite to say, thanks for the invite, but I'm tied up. Or, I'd love to, but I've got other plans. For example, thanks for the invite, but I'm tied up with work this weekend. This sounds friendly and honest. Now, sometimes you need to express that you don't understand something. Instead of just, I don't understand, try, could you explain that again? Or, I'm not sure I follow. For example, in class or a meeting, you can say, sorry, I'm not sure I follow. Could you explain that again? This shows you're engaged and want to learn. When you want to ask someone to repeat something, instead of say that again, say, could you say that one more time? Or, I didn't catch that. These sound more polite. For instance, I didn't catch that. Could you say it one more time, please? If you want to give someone encouragement instead of a simple, good job, try, well done, or you're doing great, or keep it up. For example, a friend shows you their painting and you say, wow, well done, you're really talented. Or a colleague finishes a presentation and you say, you're doing great, keep it up. When you want to apologize, instead of just, sorry, try, I'm really sorry about that, or my apologies, or I didn't mean to. For example, I'm really sorry about being late today. Adding really or my apologies makes the apology sound sincere. To respond to an apology, instead of, it's okay, say, no worries, or don't worry about it, or it's all good. For example, I'm sorry I forgot your birthday. You say, no worries, it's fine. When you want to show surprise or disbelief, you can say, seriously? Or, are you kidding me? Or, no way. For example, I just won tickets to the concert. You say, seriously? That's amazing. If you want to talk about feeling tired or busy, instead of I'm tired, you can say, I'm beat, or I'm wiped out, or I've had a long day. For example, after working all day, I'm totally wiped out. Want to talk about something that is easy or hard? You've heard easy and hard, but try these. Easy. It's a piece of cake. No problem. A walk in the park. Hard. It's tough. It's a challenge. It's not a walk in the park. For example, learning English? At first it was tough, but now it's a piece of cake. When you want to express that you really like something instead of just, I like it, try, I'm a big fan of, or I really enjoy, or I'm into. For example, I'm a big fan of jazz music, or I really enjoy hiking on weekends. When you want to suggest something, instead of let's do this, say, how about or why don't we, or shall we. For example, how about grabbing some coffee after work? Or why don't we watch a movie tonight? If you want to express uncertainty, instead of I don't know, try I'm not sure. Or it's hard to say. Or I have no idea. For example, will it rain tomorrow? I'm not sure. Want to ask someone to wait? Instead of wait, say, hold on a sec, or just a moment, or give me a second. For example, hold on a sec, I'll check that for you. When you want to say goodbye informally, instead of just bye, try, see you later, or catch you later, or take care. For example, all right, I gotta go. See you later. Now, when you want to express agreement but a bit more casually, you can say, for sure, or absolutely, or you got it. For example, can you help me with this? For sure. If someone offers you something and you want to politely refuse instead of just no, say, no thank you, or I'm good, thanks, or maybe next time. For example, do you want some coffee? No, thank you, I already had some. To politely ask for repetition or clarification instead of what, try, could you repeat that? Or, I'm sorry, what did you say? Or, could you say that again, please? For example, if you didn't hear something, say, sorry, could you repeat that? When you want to show you are listening instead of just nodding silently, you can say, I see, or right, or makes sense. For example, someone explains a plan and you say, I see, that sounds good. If you want to make a suggestion softer, instead of you should, try maybe you could, or how about, or have you thought about? For example, maybe you could try a different approach. Or, have you thought about asking for help? When you want to express that something is important instead of just it's important, say, it really matters. Or, it's a big deal. Or, you can't underestimate it. For example, getting enough sleep really matters for your health. If you want to say you're busy instead of I'm busy, try, I've got a lot on my plate. Or, I'm swamped. Or, my schedule's full. For example, sorry, I can't meet today. I'm swamped with work. When you want to thank someone for their time or effort, instead of just thank you, try, I really appreciate your help. Or, thanks a lot for your time. Or, I'm grateful for your support. For example, thanks a lot for your time today. It means a lot. If you want to politely end a phone call or conversation, try, I don't want to keep you. Or, I'll let you go now. Or, talk to you soon. For example, all right, I don't want to keep you. Talk to you soon. Finally. I know that's a lot of phrases and examples, right? But don't worry. You don't have to memorize them all at once. Try picking a few every day and practice them in your conversations or even by yourself. Remember, the goal is to sound natural and confident. Using these phrases will help you do exactly that. Thanks so much for listening today. Keep practicing, and I promise your English will improve step by step. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss an episode. And if you like this lesson, share it with your friends who are also learning English. Catch you next time. Take care and keep speaking.